That's why we wound up with 12 million people crossing the border illegally under Joe Biden in 4 years. The worst border enforcement in the history of our nation. Are you proud of that? No, he won't answer that. Wow. This is kind of a fascinating story that Barack Obama has apparently lost his mojo and ruined his brand. Now, it was said for a long time that Joe Biden was serving Obama's third term, that Obama was kind of controlling Biden from the house he bought in D.C.'s ritzy Kalorama neighborhood, which is just 2 miles from the White House. And it just felt like Obama was the leader of the Democrat Party, and his wife Michelle was the secret weapon they were going to pull out in 2024 to replace Biden and trounce Donald Trump. Well, none of that happened. And judging by his poll numbers right now, his star has long faded. In a CNN poll last month, Obama only got 4% support from Democrats who were asked which leader best represents the party. So he was behind Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders. Like 84-year-old Bernie Sanders. If Obama really was the puppeteer pulling Biden's strings, he's got a lot to answer for. But in reality, the former president has been so aloof from politics that he didn't even bother watching Biden's disastrous debate performance. Remember that last year? According to a new book, Fight, Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes, Obama was, quote, alerted to the catastrophe by his phone. Obama kept his thoughts to himself that night, but his proxies didn't afford Biden the same courtesy. As his former advisors like David Axelrod and the Pod Save America bros waged a campaign against Biden, Obama stayed silent. But behind the scenes, the book suggests he was urging the party to dump Biden and run a mini primary to choose his replacement. And he didn't want Kamala Harris. The mini primary was Obama's way of trying to kneecap Harris. At one point, when Biden looked like he was clinging to his candidacy, Obama called him and demanded to know, "What's your path?" According to the authors, Biden angrily thought to himself as he listened, "What's my path? What's your effing plan?" No drama Obama, who likes to stay above the fray, ultimately outsourced the wet work to movie star George Clooney and party godmother Nancy Pelosi, who didn't like her fellow San Franciscan Harris either. Pelosi's biggest initial fear had been about Harris, the authors wrote in this book. She actually was worried when people were panicking the night of the debate, saying, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be her." And it was. And Pelosi eliminated any potential for a primary at all, and thus ensured it was going to be her. None of this makes any sense. I mean, the Democrats are in such disarray right now. It's embarrassing. I don't know what they're going to do about this, but they've got people, even people like Oliver Stone, who's an extreme leftist, who's criticizing the Democrat Party right now. Oliver Stone slammed Democrats for weaponizing federal law enforcement and for lying about the Russian collusion story, all during the 2016 election and then for years after. Stone applauded President Trump for taking steps to find out what really happened, adding that he is absolutely right that the federal government has been weaponized to attack political opponents. Again, this is from Oliver Stone. Trump recently signed a new executive order directing the FBI to immediately declassify files concerning Crossfire Hurricane, the initial investigation launched in 2016 that sought information on whether members of the Trump campaign were colluding with the Russians to undermine the election. The president has also taken steps to go after the law firms involved in the scandal including by suspending the security clearances for their attorneys and barring them from entering any federal buildings. Stone said, Russiagate, we paid for it. I applaud what Trump is doing. And I hate what they did with Russiagate. I really do. I think it's, again, the lying. Said it 3 times. And selling that to the American people. Thank you. Wow. When asked if he felt Trump was right about there being weaponization, the federal government is weaponizing against conservatives, he responded, there was. That is shocking and refreshing all at the same time.